Welcome to Gotta Run. This is Will Sanchez. Thank you for tuning in. I have a very special guest today. Her name is Jess Tusing. She runs with the Hellgate Road Runners. I heard about Jess because I got an invite for a very special event coming up in September. It's the running of honoring the 100th year anniversary of the Hellgate Bridge in Queens, New York. Jess is the co-director for the Fun 5K Run.
Thank you for having me.
As I mentioned, I received this invite to the 5K Fun Run to honor the 100th year anniversary of the Hellgate Bridge. Mm-hmm. So congratulations on taking that honor.
Oh, thank you. It's been an adventure.
I could imagine. Before we covered that, the fun run and the club itself, Hellgate, very interesting name. Let's introduce you to our audience, Jess. Tell us where you were born and something about your growing up years.
I was born in Athens, Georgia, to a Navy family. My dad was in the Navy for over 24 years, so we moved every couple years. And he was a runner. So my first race was when I was 3 years old, and I've been going ever since.
And you remember the 3 years old, or did he have a lot of photographs?
Running along with my dad. He's been running with me my whole life. I ran my first marathon with him, and he was very supportive throughout my whole running career in high school and college.
Oh, cool. In college, where did you go and what did you study?
I was at James Madison University, and I studied hospitality and tourism management, and I ran on their Division I track team, cross country and indoor track for a few years.
Ah, excellent. So hospitality, so does that working in like the hotel business?
Yes, hotel, restaurants, real estate, those types of focuses.
Oh, sounds like you always have a job.
Yes, it's good security. Yes.
All right, good. So after college, and sounded like you were very active athletically, you needed to decide a career for yourself. What was your first career move?
Oh, I actually moved down to Florida and worked at the Hilton Sandestin as the night housekeeping manager, and just bounced around to different hotels, and then ended up becoming a building manager in Hawaii.
Nice.
For a 300-unit condo. And then ended up in New York about 4 years ago being a portfolio manager. Okay,
so what brought you to New York? I mean, Hawaii is very exciting, and the weather, can't beat the weather. New York, has the seasons.
I don't know, maybe the sunshine, too much of it. No, my family's East Coast. It was just tough being so far away. And with my sister being in New York, I decided it'd be a good move to start fresh. And it was the real estate mecca of the U.S., so why not?
Somebody made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
Yes.
What does your sister do in New York?
She's an actress /
Acting is one of the things she does.
Yes, but she also reads for books.
She's like a voiceover kind of thing?
Yes, thank you. That is what she does.
Oh, that's so cool. That takes a lot of talent to do that. As an actress, have we seen her locally in the New York area?
Yes, she's actually been on Law and Order, Criminal Intent, and I think recently she was on Mercy and Blue Bloods, very different, and then of course local off-Broadway shows.
Oh, excellent. So she's more of a character actor.
Yes. I like her quote, though she but little, she is fierce. And I think that represents her.
All right, so here you are in New York. And how long ago did you move?
I was here in 2013.
In Queens, probably?
Yes, I haven't moved since. I was very lucky. I found my apartment and love it, and haven't had to move like normal New Yorkers do.
Oh, right. But obviously you were looking at the running scene.
I just happened to run to Astoria Park on a Wednesday night and saw that the team was doing their normal Wednesday night track workout.
And the team being the
Hellgate Road Runners. Woohoo!
Nice.
And Jared gave me an application, and then I started the following week and haven't left since.
Okay, Jared is the founder?
Jared and his wife LuAnn, yes.
Okay.
They started the club in 1996.
Oh, right. So you're 21 years?
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, what is it about the Hellgate that keeps you there?
I think it's because it's a family-oriented club. You are attracted to the running, and you have schedules on a regular basis. You know what to expect. Jared and LuAnn are almost there every single practice, but the passion is there for running, and then the passion is there to support each other and be family to each other is there. And I think that's what keeps members staying around, whether they move across the world like some of our teammates have, or in local Astoria and been on the team just as long as it's been founded.
Okay, so you're saying once in Hellgate, always a Hellgate member.
Yes, normally.
Normally, okay, all right. What was the most significant thing that happened to you while you were at Hellgate?
I would say meeting my husband. He was on the running team a few years before me, and we met, bonded over running, and we just got married last summer in Astoria Park, and it was a running wedding.
Oh my gosh, whose idea was that?
It was my idea.
And he agreed immediately.
Yes.
That's so cool. So that means you had a special running outfit that looked like wedding gowns?
Yes, I actually found a running wedding dress online and a tuxedo shirt, and we got married in the park and took off running around the park, and then all of a sudden all these Hellgaters showed up, and it was about 40 of us running around Astoria, and we went from Astoria Park over the Triborough to Randall's Island, over the pedestrian bridge, and ended at 90th Street in Central Park.
Cool. Well, which race was that?
It was one of the first dates I had with him, and I thought it would be a nice way to celebrate.
Oh, I see. You created your own race.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You didn't run, the Astoria 10K. It was the
No.
it was the Jess and what's the name of your husband?
Dave.
The Jess and Dave wedding run.
But it was really great. We have designers on our team, and one of them surprised us by making bibs for us, and another person surprised by having shirts made, so those that were running with us had shirts. It was just really touching.
Oh, cool. I would imagine some of the pedestrians going, "What race is that?"
It was really nice because they had the warm-up, the marathon warm-up going on in Central Park. So we're running the opposite way, and it was kind of funny to see the runners while we're running in our wedding outfits.
Okay, and you said that was recent, like a year and a half ago, something like
Yes,
that?
in
Okay, you're still on your honeymoon then.
That's right. We actually went to New Zealand for our honeymoon and ran a half marathon there.
New Zealand.
Destination running.
Yes, that's a beautiful place. I've been there. In fact, New Zealand. Oh, I'm thinking of Australia because we're going to talk about the bridge, because I think Australia, the Sydney Bridge is based on the model of the Hellgate Bridge.
Right, we went there too. So we had our picture in front of Hellgate, and then we got our picture in front of the Sydney Harbour Bridge as a significant thing. But what was so neat about New Zealand is that we actually had a Hellgater in New Zealand that we went to go visit and ran in the race. So they're everywhere.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so you're the Hellgate Runners. Why is it called, you're named after the bridge, but Hellgate, is an interesting name. Is there a story to that name?
The only thing that I was told by my coach is when they were forming the team, they were trying to figure out the name, and they had a vote, and everyone wanted to be the Hellgate Road Runners and to run like Hellgate. So it stuck, and I think it's a really cool name.
But obviously, you guys run near the bridge. The bridge itself is a commuter bridge. What kind of bridge is it?
It's a bridge used by Amtrak for commuter trains.
Okay. You're celebrating his 100th anniversary. Actual anniversary was in March. Mm-hmm. You're doing the race next month in September.
Yes.
So it's a sort of an add-on feature, I guess the celebration could last all year, right?
Well, that was the plan. We actually have a local community board, and they're doing events throughout the entire year, painting murals around the base of the bridge. And a weekend after our event, the Astoria Park Alliance is going to do an event for kids. But they also they already had a bicycle event and different things. So we're trying to celebrate throughout the whole year. I
was reading a little bit about the Hellgate. As you know, Manhattan bridges, like the 59th Street Bridge, celebrated its 100th like 8 or 9 years ago. Mm-hmm. So when the Hellgate was being built, they just had a lot of expertise available to build it. And in fact, they did such a great job. Most bridges, I didn't know this, are meant to last about 300 years. Mm-hmm. Hellgate is good for at least 1,000 years.
That doesn't surprise me.
And considering the size, it can hold incredible loads of traffic. Mm-hmm. It's just an amazing, amazing bridge. And it was such an artistic success, besides being an economic success, as we mentioned earlier, that it was copied, or the design was featured in Sydney, like in Australia, its bridge. Mm-hmm. And Bayonne.
Yes.
I think it's even bigger than...
I think Bayonne was the first one, and then Hellgate was the second, and then Sydney came in after that. because someone from Sydney actually visited Astoria and saw the bridge, and that's what they pushed to have in Sydney to memorialize Sydney and make it famous and such.
That is so cool. Okay, here we are, 2017. You probably heard that the bridge is going to celebrate 100. Why did you take on this task of becoming the race director?
For the love of the team and to give back to Hellgate because they've given so much to me.
Okay.
I really want to support Jared and LuAnn. They actually did 5K races for about 15 years. And I thought, why not do something that is our namesake? And a 5K race seems perfect, and we have a lot of people from the team that are stepping up to volunteer. So it's really exciting.
Okay. So you're accepting donations, or is there a fee involved to run the race?
It's $25 until August 15th, and then it goes up to $30. You can have same-day registration or pre-registration. We're going to have T-shirts, and then there's going to be race day bags with various items from vendors, and we do have a lot of sponsors. I think we've hit 22.
22 sponsors.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Local sponsors.
Okay. Is the funds going to support a local event?
Well, we're self-funded, so it's to help support our event and make sure that we will be successful in it, and any funds that we make a profit, I guess, off of will go towards a future event of the next year's 5K.
Oh,
We hope to have another one.
okay.
So if we have any money left over, it'll get us started.
Okay. Now, this 5K, where it's going to be held? Obviously, you can't run across the bridge.
It's actually going to start on Shore Boulevard under the Triborough Bridge, run around Astoria Park, and then once you hit Ditmars and Shore Boulevard, you go down Shore Boulevard to 20th Avenue and then do a turnaround and end at the Hellgate Bridge.
Oh, it ends there. Are you going to have a special ceremony? I remember one of the ones that I went in Manhattan was the Triborough Bridge. There were boats, and they were shooting off cannons of colored water or whatever it was. Oh, smoke maybe. It was smoke. Will you have any special events like that?
I wish that we would have something like that. We will have a little kids parade after the race is over, and a memorial service not only for just the Hellgate to commemorate the 100th year birthday, but also for veterans in the 9/11 because it's right on that weekend. We were looking to combine multiple events to have the 100-year birthday celebration, but we thought it would be good to also honor those that have fallen or served.
That's very good. Now, you're the director or the co-director, so who's helping you? I mean, it takes a village to put these things together, doesn't it?
Right. Well, I have to say there's at least 3 or 4 people helping me with the social media. Jared and LuAnn have been very resourceful. My co-director, Robin Henry, she works in the events industry, so she actually did her master thesis or project on as a 5K run. So she's been very supportive. Various sponsors like Bib Switch, she's a member of our team, and she's been helping me as well.
Who's a member of your team? Bib Switch?
Adina. She owns the company Bib Switch, and what she is dreaming of is that New York City Marathon, instead of having to give up your bib, if you can't run, then you should be able to switch the bib, and she can find the person to switch the bib with you. Allow that to happen. The Marine Corps Marathon allows it to happen, but a lot of the big races don't.
I was going to say, I was able to help a friend of mine take advantage of. Another friend couldn't do it, and they allow you to transfer the bib legally to another person, paying a small transfer fee.
Right.
That is so cool. So Bib Switch would do that on a national scale?
Yes. I can't speak a lot to it, but she has told me that she's all throughout the U.S. and helping runners who can't run anymore find people that will take over their bibs.
Okay. Well, that's a challenge because every race director has their own little rules, and you're going to have to wine and dine them in certain ways to make it happen. But like as you said, you have the Marine Corps as an example, and it'll be interesting if road runners would ever do that. It's an interesting idea, and so she's also a member of the Hellgate, and this is her business.
Yes, that's what she likes to do, and we also have a massage therapist. Active Outlook is sponsoring part of the race and offering discounts on massages, and Soundworks is helping and partnering us up with sound and a screen. they're also part on the Hellgate team. So we have Brady's Bar, which is a bar in Manhattan, and he has put sponsorship in, and he's on the Hellgate team. So it's kind of neat to have all these different professionals not only sponsor the event, but also be runners on our team.
Oh, cool. So that $25 will buy you a lot. And you said you get a goodie bag of all these little trinkets.
Single Cut, they're the local brewery in Astoria. They're making rally towels for the first 250 runners, and they're hosting the after party. So it's going to be quite exciting.
Oh, it should sell out. Is there a cap?
You know, I capped the online registration at 500, and if more people come race day, the more the merrier.
These things, the local politicians love to be involved in that. I would imagine the Queens borough president, for example. Is it Melinda Katz?
I believe so, because the chair of the local committee is actually working with the local politicians to attend, especially with the memorial service.
Oh, yeah.
So we're really hoping that the borough president comes, crossing our fingers for Chuck Schumer. That would be amazing. You know, different important people that would make an impact to our event.
Oh, yeah. Chuck would be there. You know, he's well known as he never met a camera he doesn't like. So we say that in a positive sense.
Right.
So I think if he gets the invite in time, you know, he'll be there. And certainly you want the borough president there.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's a terrific speaker. And I know she's a strong supporter of athletic events.
Right, and Costas is our rep, so I talked to him a little bit. Hopefully he'll have room in his schedule to come as well.
Excellent. And of course you have other local teams. I would imagine Queens Dentist Runners would be very supportive as well.
Yes, I've reached out to the local Queens and I let them know that we were having this event. We've volunteered for them and supported them in their local events. In Woodside Sunnyside, they actually host the LIC 5K, and they were very supportive and introduced me to Astoria Post, who we are partnering with in the event. Mm-hmm. Astoria Post has been very generous in providing not only a list that we can email out to over 2,000 runners, but also free advertisement and multiple articles published. So very thankful for their support, and if we do have a 5K next year, we'll be partnering up with them again.
Okay, I can see it's a lot of work to getting all this coordinated, but looks like a lot of people have stepped up to help, which is great. And you mentioned that the Hellgate's very supportive of the local community. One of the ways I heard about Hellgate before this 5K was through this great support of the Lori Harris. I think it was called Dreams and Possibility. Lori Harris was a long time New York Flyers who passed away from pancreatic cancer 4 or 5 years ago. And there was a race to honor her. And Hellgate was one of the clubs that sent a lot of members to support that. So I know the Flyers and the family of Lori Harris thanks you and, Hellgate so much. And Jared was there, taking photos.
Yes. Jared loves to take photos and LuAnn loves to run. And they're both very passionate about supporting local events, so it doesn't surprise me that they did that.
Okay, yeah. They're not doing one this year, so I don't know what the plans are. But with the Hellgate was great. And I think one of my favorite photos, was taken by Jared. I was there on Roosevelt Island next to Alan Gardner, who's the former president of the Flyers, and it got this beautiful photos of the two of us. I think I have it on my Facebook page. It's my profile picture. It used to be one of my profile pictures that I rotate around. You'll be celebrating your 21-year anniversary soon.
Woohoo! Yes.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Well, once you're successful at an event, they'll drag you for other things. Like, why don't you do a 25-year anniversary? So what do you have on your plate? First, athletically speaking, do you have, besides obviously this thing coming up in September?
I like to go to Miami every January and run the half marathon there. It became a tradition for me and my husband for about 3 years. So that's probably the next one, other than the NYR races.
Oh, okay. You like to do the New York Road Runners. So have you done the New York City Marathon?
I did. I did it in 2015.
Okay.
It was a great race.
So you want to do the 9+1, just in case you want to do it next year?
Actually, next year I got into Chicago and I deferred, so I hope to do that instead.
So 2018, you're going to be doing Chicago.
Yes.
You could have done it in 2017, but you said, I'm too busy doing the 5K fun run to honor Hellgate Unit Deferred. Good move.
Yes, that's a great excuse.
Works for me.
Okay.
And then professionally, what do you do?
I'm the compliance manager at Argo Real Estate. So
Ah,
I monitor all the city compliance for co-op and condo buildings.
that sounds like a stressful job.
It's not so bad if you're organized.
Oh, okay.
It's just it's stressful in that you really can't interpret city law very well.
So you got to be partially a lawyer to understand the gobbledygook.
Yes, that, and then have good connections with expediters and different professionals to help resolve the violations or hit compliance dates. So it's a big job, but I like it.
Oh, right. But did that take specialized training? You know, it just sounds like this after you finished school that you had to take additional training to upgrade yourself.
I actually have my CPM, which is accreditation in my industry through Institute of Real Estate Management. So that helped give me a base of real estate management. But by being a property manager, and especially in New York, you learn through trial by fire.
Trial by fire. That's a interesting phrase. You don't want a fire in your building.
Right. Well, you wear a lot of hats as a property manager.
As a property manager.
And then you learn after you get burned a few times with violations or compliance deadlines passed, you start learning real quick what you need to do. So my intent was to help property managers and take the load off of that and get ahead of it so that we can serve our clients really well.
I live in a condo, and a few years ago I got involved in a program, Ready New York, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And one of the interesting things that New York City tries to do, and this is before all these terrorist attacks, is to have every building to be aware of what to do in terms of emergencies.
Right.
The elevators could go out, Fresh Direct may not be delivering to your building. Mm-hmm. And New York is famous for their neighbors not knowing who their neighbors are.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That was very strange to me when I first moved to New York.
And so I volunteered to be a leader for my building and getting us organized. And just in basics, let's look at the building, are the stairways, are they well lit? If the lights go out, will we have emergency lights? Do we have, and we got lanterns for the building. And the property manager was very, very helpful in doing that. So is that a role you've done before, or something you might take on in the future?
Well, I'm passionate about emergency preparedness. I lived in Hawaii for 6 years, and when I was a building manager there, I went through 2 tsunamis. And before I got there was an earthquake, and especially being out on an island, you're very conscious of how you could lose electricity because you're off the grid practically. So I did a lot of training with that and created an emergency disaster plan for my building and was able to manage the building during the tsunami, which wasn't very crazy. It was more crazy in Big Island in Japan, but familiar.
Okay.
Familiar with how it works.
Wow. For such a young person, you've done a lot.
Yes.
And now you're going to have a 5K under your belt. All right. So in closing, do you have any final thoughts?
I'm just happy that you invited me on the show, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about it. I'm looking forward to the 5K, and I hope that we have good weather.
But unless it's thundering, it's going to go off, right?
Right. Rain or shine, we're going.
Excellent. I hope it'll be one of, many, many successful iterations.
Yes, me too.
Thank you. Well, thank you. On that note, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right.